Ladies and gentlemen, are you tired of watching games of chess be played by players who know what they're doing? Wouldn't you rather just go to the zoo and watch some animals fling their feces onto a chessboard? Well, that's what we're in store for today, on today's episode of Guess the Elo. Alright, as is normal in Guess the Elo, I don't know anything about the players. I don't even know where and when this game took place, even though it says right above me. But let's get to the game. Alright, e4, off to a good start. Oh, and already black has started to go wrong. No, the only good opening against e4 is the Caro-Kann. By the way, if you go buy my course and use the code Lovey is very, very, very hot, you will get 10% off. Alright, d4, principled response, taking the center. d5, good stuff so far. E takes d5, e takes d5. Okay, white is playing the exchange variation. This already gives me a little bit of information. White might be a beginner. Bishop to f4. Maybe white got a bit confused and wanted to play the London system, but accidentally played e4 instead of d4 on their first move. Okay. Bishop to d6. This is actually a great move by black, as black is basically questioning white's bishop, and if white were to trade bishops, like so, then this queen is a bit of a problem for white, because not only did black develop it for free, but this queen, it might be coming here and, you know, doing some nasty stuff of checking the king in the process of all that. So, I like this move by black. I quite like this move. Queen d2, okay. Very nice move by white. Right, defending the bishop. I like it, I like it. Things are making sense so far. Black develops, good stuff. White develops. This is a really weird exchange variation, I've got to say. You usually don't see opposite side castling like this. Usually in the exchange variation, the player with the white pieces just wants a boring draw. But this is pretty fascinating stuff. Let's see how the game continues. Black plays c6, good move, getting ready to fling their pawns forward at white. Alright, that's very good to see. Bishop d3, okay. This move is not quite so accurate, as black might potentially be able to harass this bishop with knight a6 and knight b4. But, you know, it's, you know, the players, you know, they might be fairly low rated. This is just developing. It makes sense. It does, you know, take the eye off of the d4 pawn, but okay, nothing terrible so far. Pawn to b5, very good. Black is attacking, launching their pawns forward. White plays knight ge2. Okay, developing. I don't hate it. Pawn to a5, very good play by black. White takes the bishop. Good. Well, actually, no. Is this so good? It does allow black to develop, but white's next move, I quite like this. This is good stuff. White is offering a queen trade, but it's a queen trade that would improve white's knight on e2. Oh, so okay. I'm getting some information about the players from these moves. Does black accept the trade? Let's see. No, black does not accept the trade. And also, black does not put their queen on d7, because that would potentially walk into some maybe nastiness with, you know, knight g3, bishop f5, maybe stuff like that. And I don't know, like, the queen on d7 would also just block black's development, so, oh, I don't hate it. I don't hate the queen going back to d8. The queen might have a future on the a5 square over here. Okay. White plays knight g3, and, okay, this is giving me some information about white, as, basically, we have opposite side castling, so white should really be flinging these pawns forward. White needs to launch a pawn storm at black. Okay, so black plays pawn to a4. I do kind of like this move, even if it is a little bit inaccurate. It's like, this tells me some information about black, because if black had played pawn to b4, then white would have the move knight to a4, and then be able to just glue this knight there with pawn to b3. You know, this knight on a4, it'll be like, have you ever been crossing the streets, like trying to cross the streets, and you come to a traffic light, and you're waiting for the light to change, and it's all good, but then some bozo just feels the urge to just stand right in front of you because I guess they feel they're much more important than you, or that they're in a hurry or whatever. And then the light does change, and you know, the bozo's just looking at their phone, not moving forward, and you're like, move! Move! Well, that's what this knight is like. Like, anyway, back to the game. Now, the reason why pawn to a4 is a little bit inaccurate is that white can actually still stop black's attack if white goes for pawn to a3. Like, black can try playing knight to a6 to support this push, but then white could play knight to a2, just stopping this attack. You know, it's just good to know these patterns when looking at this opposite side castling stuff. This stuff does come up a fair bit. But pawn to a4 is not a bad move. The engine just says black should play knight to a6 first and then go for the a4, b4 stuff. Since if white plays a3 now, black can go pawn to b4. You know, stuff like that. But, you know, nothing too bad so far. Rook he1. What is this move by white? What on earth? Like, no, you need to... You need to send these guys down. This is giving me some information already. Okay, so what does black do here? Pawn to b4. Very good. That's the correct way to continue the attack. White moves their knight. Okay. And black plays pawn to b3. The engine does say this is a little bit inaccurate, but I don't hate this move. I think this is okay, especially given that this is a blitz game. We've got to keep that in mind when analyzing this. White plays pawn to a3, you know, just trying to stop this attack, trying to lock the structure down. If white had a free move, they would play pawn to c3, but white doesn't. That's why pawn to b3 is the correct way to go, as opposed to black playing pawn to a3. But anyway, black plays pawn takes c2, white plays bishop takes c2. Okay, everything's looking good, and now black plays rook a7. What is rook a7? What? No. This is a free knight. Was this a mouse slip? Did black just make a mouse slip or something? Because, like, what does this move even do? This is nonsense. This move doesn't make any sense. And in fact, I don't know what it is about this line, but the other games that people submitted for Guess the ELO also featured this line. I don't know why every single one of those games featured this opening, featured this weird opposite side castling stuff. But I had to cut those games because the players made moves that were even worse than this. And I had to cut those games because I kept educating the next generation of chess players with new words that their parents don't want them to know. So anyway, black plays rook a7, giving up their knight for free. Does white see it? No, white just plays knight f5, and this does look like a nice place for the knight, but the problem is that black is just very happy to trade away their bishop because this bishop hasn't moved in the game at all. It's just an undeveloped piece. And one thing that is nice about this trade is that the knight is no longer hanging. White plays queen takes f5, and black now plays knight a6. Okay, that's a bit of a weird move. I don't really understand. Like, the knight can't go to either of these squares, and if the knight goes here, then it's still kind of in the way because black probably wants to open up this c-file for their attack. Well, let's see how white continues. What is knight g3? That's a bit weird. I would think knight f4 might make a bit more sense. Just knight f4 and, you know, push the pawns down. Like, knight g3, that knight's just in the way of the pawns. I don't understand. Why do these players play like this? Alright, g6. I don't hate this move. It does create some dark square weaknesses around black's king, but white has no dark square bishop, so that's less of a problem. And white's the only one with a light square bishop, so black putting all their pawns on light squares does make sense. Alright, white plays queen f4. Black plays knight c7. I guess this, knight is getting to a better square. Maybe the idea was to always bring it here. In fact, now it's even better because it'll gain tempo on the queen. White plays rook e2. I don't understand this move at all. Is white planning to double rooks on the... But there's going to be a knight right there. I don't know. This is just a very strange game. Okay, so black plays knight e6. Very intuitive move. Maybe white didn't see this somehow. Interesting. This is giving me information about the players. Queen d2. Well, this is very silly. White seems to be very afraid of black's attack, but the best defense in this case would be some offense, as distracting black with an attack on their king would be a great way of taking away some of the pressure from white's own king. Okay, so what happened next? Black plays queen d6, trying to get their queen into the game. Like, currently, white has some serious weaknesses on the queen side, and so black is going to try to get at those weaknesses. And if black has enough time, black will be successful. It doesn't matter how white coordinates their pieces. That's just going to happen. So white plays the other rook to e1, doubling up their rooks. I guess, well, at least that sort of justifies rook e2. Black plays knight f4, attacking the rook and the pawn on g2. Come on, black, don't take that pawn. That's not a good idea. Don't take that pawn, black. Don't... Oh, you took the... No. It's opposite side castling. This is rudimentary stuff. You do not want to be helping your opponent attack your king. Okay. So what happened next? Rook g1. Okay, good move by white. Just making use of that file that's been opened up. Knight h4. Yeah, that's the only square that knight can really go to. Now, did white find the move that will, win them the game? Did white find queen f4, which just completely traps this knight? If the knight comes here, white can just take it for free thanks to this pin. Did white find this move that would just win pretty much on the spot? Let's see what white played. Well, white almost saw it. Like, this does have the right idea of attacking the knight. It's just it walked right into a fork. Okay, so white takes the knight. Black takes the rook. White takes the other knight. Black takes the pawn. Now, normally, rook and two pawns versus bishop and knight. Normally, the bishop and knight will win. But this is one of those rare exceptions where, thanks to the weaknesses, like the weak pawn structure and also the slightly more exposed king, things are a lot more equal than you would expect. Anyway, so white plays knight h5. Okay, trying to attack. I don't hate this. This does make a fair amount of sense. Trying to get in there, trying to put the knight on this juicy square. Black does not allow that knight to come to this juicy square. The engine says this is inaccurate. Oh man, the engine is just such a scumbag. It says black should play rook b8. And then if white tries knight f6 check, black just plays king g7. And if white tries this, black just takes the knight. Be quiet, engine. Nobody asked you for your opinion. You're like that kid in class who works really hard and is really smart and gets good grades, and everyone else is lazy, easy, and expects to also get good grades even though they don't study at all. Like, nobody asked you, you stupid engine. Nobody cares what you think. But anyway, that's not what happened in the game. Instead, black plays pawn to f5. I don't hate this move. It just stops the knight from coming to f6. This is much more human. And... oh my god. This next move by white, I'm not sure if I can even show it. This is... Okay, if you want to pause the video right here, try to find the absolute worst move that white could play. Like it's a tie. There are two possible moves that are horrible, but this next move is just so ridiculous. Can I even show it? I will reveal the move in 3, 2, 1. So the next move that white played was pawn to f4, and that just loses the game on the spot. That is just a complete blunder. Black gives a check. It doesn't matter where white puts their king. White put their king on b1 in the game. Black takes the rook. White has to move their king again. And black takes the knight. And black is just up a rook in an exchange. This is just awful. White took this pawn. Black played queen g6. And that's just GG. White resigned here. Okay. So, I have quite a bit of information here about these players. They played pretty badly, but they're definitely not beginners. They've definitely got some experience playing chess. They know a bit about what they're doing. The opening was just some very weird garbage. I don't quite know where white learned this and why white didn't, start storming the king side with their pawns. That was kind of weird. So I'm gonna guess that white is 1300 and black is 1500, since black did seem a fair amount stronger than white. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that. Alright, let's see what the elos of these players were. Drumroll, please. Oh yeah! Who's the man? Who's the man? I was totally right. I am the GOAT. I am the GOAT. Yeah! Alright, that concludes today's session of Guess the Elo. Let me know in the comments if you like this series. Until next time.